Welcome and thank you for tuning in to Boys in the Zone. Today we're going to be doing a 2021 NFL mock draft, a first round mock draft for all the teams. This draft is pretty interesting, with the opt out players, with the possibility of not having a combine, a senior bowl, pre draft interview process is going to be hectic. We got a little glimpse of it last year with the COVID related issues, but it's going to be hectic, and I'm looking forward to seeing, if there is going to be those typical risers due to combine numbers and whatnot that we've seen in prior drafts, or if there isn't. Without a further ado, let's just go ahead and get in here and start this mock draft. Let me select all the teams. Doesn't matter about draft speed right now because I'm going with all of them. We're going to try to run through this kind of quickly. If you want an in-depth breakdown of any of these players, I will, I would definitely do that. I will definitely, if anybody comments and tells me, hey, we want to see more of, Quiddy Pay or something like that. We can definitely look at him and go through what I like about him and what I don't see translating to the NFL or what I do. For this process, we're just going to move pretty quickly, and hopefully I can break down them a little bit, but really just go over people's needs and hopefully draft, according to those needs. Or, just BPA, best player available. Number one, Urban Meyer, the new head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think it's a no-brainer. Everybody and their brother knows Trevor Lawrence is going to go to the Jacksonville Jaguars. They don't have to hide it. It's going to happen. So we're just not even going to talk about that. I think he's going to be a great quarterback, but we're moving down. Number two, the New York Jets. The New York Jets, did they stick with Sam Darnold? Or did they go a different route? Do they go ahead and draft a wide receiver? Did they draft a corner? I think corner is way too high here, but who knows? Do they go with an edge player? I don't really think that there's that edge player that's worthy of going number two overall like last year. But I just think that it makes too much sense to draft one of these quarterbacks, Zach Wilson or Justin Fields. It's all dependent upon how their front office feels about it. So either A, Zach Wilson, the quarterback that has the big arm, that has the better internal clock of getting out of the pocket, that has the legs, but also isn't completely as refined as a Justin Fields. Justin Fields has been a top 5 recruit, or a 5-star recruit from his time in high school. I mean, I watched him on QB1. He's developed. He's gotten better. He's gotten bigger. He's gotten, more aware of what to do. He's not afraid to throw the ball out of bounds if he needs to, He's a smart quarterback. So who do you go with right here? Personally, I think that you have to go with Zach Wilson. I just think that he's such a great quarterback. He's going to bring something that Justin Fields doesn't bring to this team, and that's electric plays. Justin Fields, I really like him. I don't see him, being like, he's a little bit like, I don't want to say boring, but a little bit boring because, it's just expected of him, I guess. And that's possibly some bias on my part because I've seen him get so, I just seen him since he was a kid. And maybe I have that prospect fatigue about Justin Fields. Who knows? But I like Zach Wilson's a lot right here. Number 3 overall, do you stick with Tua Tagovailoa? This is the big question here for the Dolphins. I mean, the Dolphins have a lot of different needs as far as, the offensive side of the ball. I really think that their defense is filled out really, really nicely. So it's just about either A, moving on from Tua and pulling a Josh Rosen on him and picking up Justin Fields, or picking up Penei Sewell, or picking up another wide receiver, Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith. I think that they're going to pick Penei Sewell. I think that they're going to stick with Tua. He hasn't been the same, but it was only his rookie season. Yes, it wasn't a Justin Herbert or Joe Burrow-esque rookie season, but it was decent. So continue to let him grow in that program and or that system, and I think that Tua will be fine. Let me get a drink here real quick, guys. Sorry, my throat was a little bit itchy. With the number 4 overall pick, you get your hometown kid right here, the QB, Justin Fields out of Georgia. I mean, not Georgia University, but the state Georgia. I mean, do you get the hometown kid, or do do you trade Julio Jones and wide receiver becomes a need? Do you get an edge player? I mean, Tack McKinley, did they let go of Tack? I think they let him go, actually. So they don't have anybody other than really Grady Jarrett on that line that actually impresses me. Or do you go with a linebacker? Could a Micah Parsons go this high? I don't personally see it. I think that they just have to go with Justin Fields, develop him, groom him behind Matt Ryan, and just let him grow. And so that's the pick. Number 5, Penei Sewell's already off the board for the Bengals. Probably kind of is going to hurt for them. But I think that they just go ahead and grab the next best tackle in this draft, Rashawn Slater. They have to protect Joe Burrow. I think it's a no-brainer right there. The Eagles, this is a perfect position for the Eagles to get whichever wide receiver that they want. They need corners as well. They could possibly pick Caleb Farley. But then they have the next 3 players after Caleb Farley on the big board, according to Mock Draft Simulator, Pro Football Network, is the three receivers. So do they pick the receivers, or do they move on from Wentz and Hurts entirely and go with Trey Lance? I think that's really dependent upon the head coach that they hire. But for now, for this purpose, we're going to give them Jamar Chase or Jalen Waddle. Either of those 2 guys, I think it can go ahead of the other one. But for this purpose, we're just going to pick Jamar Chase. It would be really fun to see Jamar Chase team up with Joe Burrow here at number 5. But I think Rashawn Slater's the pick there. So anyways, number 7, the Detroit Lions. They need wide receiver help in the worst way as well. I guess if you franchise tag Galladay, it's not as big of a need. But yeah, I just see wide receiver being their biggest need. I guess that there's other things that they could do as far as possibly drafting a Micah Parsons type of a linebacker, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah as well. I mean, he's up there. He could possibly be the pick. But yeah, I think it's all dependent upon that Galladay situation. For this purpose, I'm going to go ahead and give them Micah Parsons, and that probably hurts the Panthers a lot if they weren't going to go with Trey Lance. They're thinking, man, we missed out on our guy. But, they also could use some corner help. They could also use linebacker tackle help. Do we see the next tackle, which would be Elijah? Oh, never mind. Christian Darrisaw is ahead of Elijah Vera Tucker on their board. Yeah, so do they go with offensive line? Do they draft their quarterback of the future, Trey Lance? I think I'm going to give them Trey Lance. So, that he can develop behind Teddy Bridgewater, hopefully get better, and that's the pick. Number 9, the Denver Broncos. I think that the Denver Broncos have a sneaky need at edge if they do let, Von Miller walk in free agency. Do they let him go? What's up with that? Cornerback, they need a corner. They need a linebacker. I'm going to go ahead and give them the top corner on the board, Caleb Farley. Makes too much sense for me. And the Cowboys really, really are hurting right now. They're like, what the heck? Rashawn Slater's gone. Caleb Farley's gone. Micah Parsons, which seems like a Jerry Jones pick so much. But then you have these 2 receivers. Do you pick one of the receivers ahead of Michael Gallup, leaving in free agency next year probably? Do you? Who knows? Or do you pick the best edge player, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, or do you pick Patrick Surtain? Maybe a J.C. Horn here. I like J.C. Horn a little bit better than Patrick Surtain, but I think that the Cowboys would elect to go with a corner right here, and I think that even though J.C. Horn is on my board better than Patrick Surtain, I think that they'll pick Patrick Surtain right there. The New York Giants. Do you move on from Daniel Jones? Do you grab an edge player? Do you grab that linebacker? I think Kwity Paye, even though I have Azeez Ojulari ahead of Kwity Paye, in my personal opinion, I think Kwity Paye is going to go there to the Giants. Number 12, to the San Francisco 49ers. I think that they really, really, really need a corner. Also, I mean, if you move on from Jimmy Garoppolo, yes, you need a quarterback, but all the good quarterbacks are gone, and I think that Mac Jones is just too much of a reach right here for them. So yeah, at number 12, I think that you almost have to go J.C. Horn. Um, I guess that you could go with a lineman here. Let's say they're linemen actually. Christian Darrisaw, Elijah Vera Tucker. Yeah, I think that J.C. Horn just seems more like the pick right here. So I'm gonna go J.C. Horn, 13 to the Chargers. Man, oh man, they picked Kenneth Murray last year, or I would have really, really liked to see Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah go there. But yeah, they picked Murray. So we're not going to do that. Obviously, the linebacker's not really a need for them. I think that a tackle comes off the board for them. Protect Justin Herbert, and we're going to go with Elijah Vera Tucker right there for the Chargers. For the Vikings, they need edge help in the worst way, in my opinion. Golly, I think they had like the worst pressure rate in the entire NFL. So we're going to give them Azeez Ojulari, and I think that he will flourish there in Minnesota. Number 15, do they trade back? Do they get Mac Jones right here? What happens? I think that the Patriots would be wise to go ahead and pick the best player for them, which is Kyle Pitts. They haven't been the same since Gronk has left, and I just really like that fit right there. Number 16 for the Cardinals. All the big three of the corners have been gone, so they're really wiped out right there, which is disappointing for them. But I like the Penn State kid here, Jason Owe. I think that's how you say his name. I really like that for them, and they can hopefully fill that position for the years to come. Number 17, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Does he not sound like a Raiders player? I know the linebackers not the biggest need for the Raiders, but I think that I just really like this pick for them, so I'm gonna go ahead and give them the linebacker out of Notre Dame. Number 18, the Dolphins' second pick, their actual pick right here, is going to be, who did we pick for them first? Penei Sewell. Yeah, so they're gonna need weapons on the outside right now, so they're gonna go wide receiver or a running back. I think that the first running back should go a little bit further down in the draft. So yeah, we're just gonna go wide receiver. We're gonna pick the best one still left, Jalen Waddle or Devontae Smith. I think that they'll get Smith, and we're gonna go to the Washington football team. Washington football team. Who do they go with? Mac Jones. I don't really have to stress this enough. They have a really good defense. They have Terry McLaurin on the outside. They have a decent running back room. I just feel like Mac Jones is going to be the pick right there. And, it'd be interesting to see how he flourishes in the NFL. Chicago at 20. They hate to see Mac Jones go right there, right one pick above them. But, it's going to be okay because they're going to get another really good player here in Christian Darrisaw. Solidify that O-line and just allow them to really build something there in Chicago. 21 with the Colts. They probably need a quarterback as well. Kyle Trask is way too high for him to go right now. What is their other needs? Probably a corner. Let me see who the corners are left. Tyson Campbell. That sounds like a Colts player, doesn't it? Tyson Campbell, number 26 for the Colts or something. But yeah, they need a corner. They need a wide receiver. I think if the wide receiver slid down this far, it has to be Jalen Waddle. Number 22, the Titans. The Titans, they probably need an edge rusher. They probably need a linebacker. Well, no, they have Landry and they don't need a linebacker. I think Joseph Osai sounds good right there for the Titans. Number 23, the New York Jets. What happens with them? This second pick rolls around. Did they pick their wide receiver here? Or do they, try to get a corner, an edge player? I think that they would be pretty crazy not to get Rashawn Bateman here if he's there. And and the draft falls like it has. I think that that's the best pick for them. The Steelers desperately need a tackle, and Cosme's still there. He's 25th player on their big board, going at 24. Just seems right for them. They need to get better there, especially with Villanueva possibly leaving. And then number 25, Jags. Who did they pick up, man? They just picked up their quarterback. So with this pick, I'm going to go Pat Freermonth. I don't know how to say his last name, but I really liked this kid on tape. He looked the part. He's a big dude. He blocks pretty well. He has hands, for a tight end. He runs routes pretty well. I mean, there's still room to improve, but pretty good player. For the Cleveland Browns, Gregory Rousseau makes so much sense right there. He can learn behind one of the best, if not the best, pass rusher in the NFL, in Myles Garrett, and I just really like the fit a lot right there. The Buccaneers, this is where Najee Harris is going to go. I just see the Bucs head coach is gonna love the pass catching ability of Najee Harris. He had it with David Johnson in Arizona, and I just love the fit right there. The Baltimore Ravens, the Ravens, they need to probably find the eventual not really many edge players left. I would say they need to figure out an eventual replacement for Calais Campbell, but who knows, that's difficult. Let's see who the best O-lineman is. Offensive guard, Wyatt Davis. Landon Dickerson. Tackle, Jalen Mayfield. That's steep. They need a wide receiver too. Chris Olave, Kadarius Toney. Terrence Marshall. I think that Terrence Marshall could go here. LSU receivers, he was the best one this year for them by far. I really like him. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give Terrence Marshall to 28, the Baltimore Ravens. The Saints need, do they get a quarterback to develop? Who knows? Did they get a corner? Let's check who the corners are left up here. The Georgia kids. I'm not super high on either of them. This high. I could definitely see them going this high. This is the back end of the first. Who else? Wide receiver. Chris Olave. Let's check linebacker. Zaven Collins seems like a Saints pick, man. The Bills, they probably need a corner. And I could definitely see them picking Campbell or Stokes right here. Asante Samuel Jr. even if they wanted to. Or they can try to solidify that offensive tackle spot with Jalen Mayfield or Alex Leatherwood. I'm going to go ahead and give them the corner out of Georgia, Tyson Campbell. 31 with the Packers right here. The Packers, could Georgia corners go back to back? Who knows, or they could get Christian Barmore. I think it's a sneaky need for them. I really do. Or do they go wide receiver right here? Do they go Chris Olave, Kadarius Toney, Rondale Moore? I think this receiver class is so deep that they probably won't go receiver in the first. So I'm going to go ahead and just give them the player that I think that they should get, which is Nick Bolton right here. And last pick of the draft makes so much sense for me. Kadarius Toney. Alrighty, guys. I guess that wraps up the draft. Let's go ahead and look at the full results. And here they are: Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Penei Sewell, Justin Fields, Rashawn Slater, Jamar Chase, Micah Parsons, Trey Lance, Caleb Farley, Patrick Surtain II, Kwity Paye, J.C. Horn, Elijah Vera Tucker, Azeez Ojulari, Kyle Pitts, Jason Owe, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, Devontae Smith, Mac Jones, Christian Darrisaw, Jalen Waddle, Joseph Osai, Rashad Bateman, Samuel Cosme, Pat Fairmouth, Gregory Rousseau, Najee Harris, Terrence Marshall, Zaven Collins, Tyson Campbell, Nick Bolton, and Kadarius Toney. So yeah, that is your draft. Thank you for tuning in to Boys in the Zone, and just let me know if you guys want to see any other videos. Like, comment, and subscribe. That really helps out the channel grow. And yeah, just thanks for tuning in, and I appreciate you guys. Goodbye. You're the best.